Massive, massive, massive Bitcoin news today. It seems that Twitter could be the next tech company to announce a Bitcoin purchase. We could be about to see just a phenomenal wave of Bitcoin FOMO by some of the world's biggest tech companies, particularly US tech companies. Tesla burst open the dam here. Twitter seems to be the next one to follow them down that path. Probably not going to be long either until we see Apple and others like Facebook getting into Bitcoin, because you know what? No one's going to want to be last, and those companies already aren't first. We also have some huge Mastercard news to cover today in terms of, not wanting to be last. That's another one to definitely take a look at. My name's Lark, and every day I make videos to help you make money in crypto. So if that is what you want to do, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to catch all of my videos. By the way, every single week I produce an investor report called Wealth Mastery. Issue number 32 just hit inboxes a few hours ago. And this week, we've got just another value-packed issue for you. We have a deep dive report on the altcoin keeper DAO. The team from Cresco Finance join us for a very fascinating interview on what it is that they're building. I share tips on how to get into token sales. I also share a few tips on how to find undervalued DeFi gems. We also have a tutorial on how to make 280% APY with a new DeFi opportunity, and much, much more. That's just scratching the tip of the iceberg there. All that for less than $10 a week, meaning this is not only the most value-packed investor report, but it's also the most affordable one. Click on the link down below in the description to learn more about becoming a member today. Okay, so let's get into this crazy Bitcoin news. The first story is that Mastercard, yes, Mastercard, the global credit card payments giant, has announced that they are going to allow merchants to accept payments in cryptocurrencies this year, 2021. It's a plan. This is huge. Absolutely huge news. This is one of the world's biggest finance companies saying, yeah, man, to cryptocurrencies. It's not yet clear which cryptocurrencies will be supported. We don't have a lot of information on this story yet, but I would suspect we're going to see the major ones obviously showing up. We'll see Bitcoin, we'll see Litecoin, we'll probably see, USDC stablecoins, a couple others I could, rattle off the top of my head here. There is another this is crazy. What a massive big step for global adoption of cryptocurrencies. We don't need the old boys like MasterCard to achieve mass adoption of cryptocurrencies, but you know what? It's going to happen a lot faster with them on board. Now, this announcement comes weeks after Visa announced that they will be working with USDC, the stablecoin provider, to process payments in USDC. And just a few months, of course, after PayPal came out and announced its Bitcoin exchange. We even had news today that a small U.S. commercial bank named Blue Ridge will allow for their customers to buy and sell Bitcoin via their ATMs. And of course, we had JP Morgan, which is the biggest bank in America, a few months ago, announced they're going to start doing custody services for Bitcoin. It's happening, guys. It's happening right here, right now. We're witnessing just across the board FOMO to not be the last to offer crypto-related services. Eventually, all of these companies will have to do it, which if we circle back to a story from earlier this week about the speculation that Apple may be one of the next to enter the crypto game, then it starts to kind of make sense. Apple doesn't want to be last, and they're already kind of late to the game in terms of, big payment providers, right? Even if Apple doesn't buy Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset, which they might, but I doubt that they can resist offering Bitcoin as a service to their 383 million Apple Pay customers for very much longer. Think about it. PayPal's offering Bitcoin, Visa's offering USDC, Cash App's offering Bitcoin, Mastercard's going to offer a whole range of different crypto services. Apple is starting to look like a bit of a laggard here. They're already behind. I reckon that they launch Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies on Apple Pay in 2021. So let's see what happens, but I think that's going to happen. Final story for today. Seems that Twitter is going to be the next company to buy Bitcoin. The chief financial officer was asked about it today during an interview, and while he did not directly say yes, Twitter is going to buy a bunch of Bitcoin next week. That would be a bad decision. You buy your Bitcoin and then you announce that that's how it's done. He did say that it's something that Twitter is looking at. Now, if they were not actively considering buying Bitcoin, he would just say, no, we're not going to buy Bitcoin, right? Not, we're actually looking at Bitcoin. Come on. They're going to buy it, right? Look, honestly, it wouldn't even surprise me to see Twitter buy Bitcoin. In fact, I'm surprised they haven't already. I mean, just think about it. Twitter's a tech company, very popular tech company, especially with the crypto crowd. Twitter's CEO is a massive Bitcoin bull. Jack Dorsey loves Bitcoin. He already instructed his other company, Square, to buy Bitcoin. Twitter's behind the curve here. It's also a company that has billions of dollars of cash on hand, and like all the other companies out there sitting on big piles of cash, they're sitting on a melting ice cube with that fiat. Jack knows this very, very well. I'm actually surprised that it's taken this long to even kind of come up in conversation, and that, of course, that Twitter hasn't actually bought Bitcoin yet. Come on, Jack, what are you doing, man? I think we're about to see full-blown Silicon Valley FOMO as all of these tech companies scramble to get big positions in Bitcoin. So I expect a lot of others to announce in the near future as well, or at least, start dropping hints that they're going to, because nobody wants to be last again. And any company that buys today, still pretty early. Far from the first, but still pretty early at this point. You don't want to be buying Bitcoin in 2 years, right? When everybody, 1,000 companies are already in. I think by midpoint of this year, we'll see probably 4, 5, 6 top 100 companies announce Bitcoin buys. Oh, and there was another interesting announcement from Twitter in this conversation, was that Twitter is going to be launching a tipping service as well as content subscriptions. Now, this is an incredibly big announcement if you start connecting the dots. You see, as we mentioned, Jack Dorsey, big Bitcoin bull, right? In fact, Jack is such a big Bitcoin bull that he has been personally giving millions of dollars to Lightning Labs. Lightning Labs is the company that has been working on the Bitcoin Lightning Network for the last few years. As well, he's been directing internal teams at Square to work on Bitcoin development. Now, is it then really such a stretch of the imagination to imagine that Twitter will implement the Lightning Network for Bitcoin-based tipping on their platform? I honestly don't think that it is. And yeah, of course, I'm speculating here. But again, we're connecting the dots, right? Trying to see what's going to come next. I think this is exactly what is going to happen. So when that does, holy cow, it'll be massive for Bitcoin, because Twitter is one of the biggest social media platforms in the world. It's all happening right now in front of our faces. Very exciting. Anyway, your question for today: have you ever bought something with Bitcoin? And if so, was it worth it? Or do you now regret that purchase? Let me know down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.